What's up, Nail Geeks? Today I have Emily DeMolly's February releases to share with you guys today. These were sent to me for review. Now, I think this is one of my favorite months so far. If you have been a fan of the brand's shifty foil polishes that have been releasing slowly but surely over the last few months, I think you're going to be very pleased with this month's collection. So first up is a Better Tomorrow. Official description is a steel blue holographic with silver holographic micro glitters and pink to green shifting multichrome shimmer. So while this collection, I think the majority will be really chasing after those foil shimmers, this one, don't let this one escape you. This one was absolutely one of my probably top three, if not one of my favorites from this release. This one is very holographic. It's got just very strong linear rainbows across the nail, and that shimmer is very strong. So in person, in bright lights, you'll see it come off as almost like a purpley copper color. Now, there are those larger micro glitters in there, and that just gives it just that extra bit of sparkle. Formula on this one is kind of medium to a little bit on the heavier side. It's a typical hollow, I would say, for the brand, that it's very rich on application, just almost a one coater, and super smooth on the brush strokes. I'm going to say this one's a 2-coater max. If bling is your thing, then I highly recommend grabbing this one. Now, the next polish is Grace and Glory. Official description is a bright purple crelly with blue to purple iridescent flakes. Now, if you were a fan of the yellow crelly last month, then this is another one that you're really going to want to keep your eye on. So formula on this one feels very squishy, very jelly-like to me. It builds up super quick on the nail, and it's a very vibrant violet color is how I would describe it. On my monitor, I'm thinking this looks pretty color accurate to what I'm seeing in person. I know purples can kind of skew across monitors, but it is a medium but very vibrant, rich, dark purple. So this one, I would say 2 to 3 coats for full opacity on this. I think depending on your application type, 2 normal coats or 3 thin. Personally, I would go in for the thin coats because those flakes are very strong and just really just on the larger side. So you want to have them just build up and create a nice layer effect across the nail. In person, they give this really ethereal, glowy type effect. I think on my macro shots and whatnot, you can really get a good idea of just how much just glowiness overall that those flakes give this polish. So mostly they're going to come up, at least in my opinion, to a very rich blue to that purple base. Overall, very nice. I had no problems picking them up with the brush, and after top coating, my nails were smooth to the touch. Next, we have Old Friend of Mine. Official description is a medium brown holographic with subtle gold shimmer and iridescent flakes. Formula on this one is very much so on the medium side. It applies super smooth on the nail, very rich. I'm going to say for full opacity on this one, I would recommend 2 coats. As you're seeing here on that first coat, it just smooth sailing. Very rich and just lovely during application. It reminded me a bit of A Better Tomorrow, which was that first one, and it's just like a hot knife through butter, very easy on the application. This one is very sparkly. I would say the base is like a top type of brown, very neutral, and the holographic effect to it is linear, so you're going to get a nice rainbow effect across your nail, and it is loaded with some flakes in here, and personally I'm seeing a lot of like gold reflective ones, and then there's those little iridescent ones that kind of twinkle between, like I'm seeing pinks and oranges and a little bit of green in there. So there's a lot going on here. If you like a spruced up, what I would consider a neutral, then this will definitely be for you. There's lots of sparkle and lots of things going on here. I do feel like it does have a bit of a cool tone to the base color. So if you have warm tones, I think you're going to be just fine as a neutral for this one. After top coating, I had no texture whatsoever, and those flakes laid down nice and flat for me. Next, we have Parallel Worlds. This is a pink purple base with green to blue to purple to red Aurora Shimmer. Now, honestly, I want to say that my swatches of this one did not do it justice. This was pretty intense, as well as the other two foils in the collection. This one does have a bit of a reddish type of purpley pink base. It's very interesting. It's definitely one of the darker of the three in this collection. The shimmer in it dominantly looks like a green to me, but there is that reddish type of shift to it as well. And on extreme angles, it has this very strong, like fuchsia type violet that comes out that you'll see in like shaded lighting and whatnot. And bright lights, like I said, you're going to see it mostly in that almost like a coppery, but there's also like green particles in there as well. Just really interesting, and the shimmer in this is so incredibly strong. So personally, I would say that opacity for this one will be 2 to 3 coats. It does dry down just a little bit on like the flat kind of satin type side. So personally, once again, glossy gal here, I would recommend a glossy top coat to really get that shimmer to pop. And it just has that lovely foil effect that kind of almost like a really strong sparkle. Next up, we have Sheer Thrills. Official description is a very pale purple with very strong green to pink shifting shimmer and green to purple chrome flakes. Formula on this one feels a bit on the medium side. It really builds up nicely for you, as you'll see once I go to the second coat. This one has an abundance of flakes in it, and I had no issues with them. I will say just go a little gentle on your brush so you don't get a little bit of dragging with them. They definitely lay flat on the nail. I had no issues having them give me any texture after top coating. Now, the base color is definitely a pale purple. It's almost like a neutral type purple, kind of like an earthy undertone to it, in my opinion. And honestly, I was a little worried this one was going to get washed out on me. However, that was not the case at all. The shimmer in this is very, very interesting. So my camera in this shot is just really latching onto that green shift, but there's a very strong, like a very almost pinky purpley type shift on angles, especially in shaded lighting that you'll see. I tried to catch it on some of my macro shots. It is very, very shifty, and those flakes just complement both states very nicely. You'll mostly see them appear as an emerald green in comparison to the lime type of shift you're seeing here with the bright lights on that shimmer. Overall, for opacity, I'm going to say 2 coats on this one, and I think you're going to be good. Maybe 3 if you like that more plump appearance across your nail. Next, we have the Dragon King. Official description is a dark khaki green crelly filled with pink to orange to green iridescent flakes. Formula on this one feels on the medium side. It definitely applies a bit almost on the jelly side, but it builds very quickly. The base color to me is a really interesting but unique green. I do coin myself as quite the green connoisseur for polish, as it's one of my favorite shades, and this is definitely a unique base color to my collection. It's like a khaki green, but there's almost like a mossy type of undertone to it. Very, very pretty. On my monitor here watching the playback, I think it's looking color accurate to me. Now those flakes come in an array of sizes, so you'll have small ones and big ones, and as you're seeing there, I definitely wanted to keep that big one once it landed on my nail here. And they lay down flat for me, and they go from all types of colors. In bright lights, you'll see them come off as this fuchsia-like pinky color, and then on angles, you'll see golds and greens come out. After top coating, I had no texture with this one, and for opacity, I will say 2 to 3 coats max for this one. It builds incredibly fast, and you get that really nice pond effect with the flakes across your nail. For being such a dark color, I think those flakes really popped against the base, and you can just obviously see them in all their multi-chrome glory. Next, we have the Uttermost. Official description is a pink coral base with gold to green to purple Aurora Shimmer. So this is the second foil shimmer in the release, and this is really just in your face. That base color is what I would consider to be a true like peachy coral, and it just complements that shimmer like crazy. In person, you'll see this like golden type, almost orangey, just glow across your nail, and there's a bit of a green type of background to that gold shimmer. So here you're just seeing the gold, unfortunately, but in person it's like a mixture between gold and green. I'm staring at the bottle right now and I'm like frustrated that you can't really see that green on the video here, but take my word for it, there's gold and green in bright lights, and on extreme angles and shift on tilt, especially in shaded area, that really vibrant pinky purple appearance comes out, and it's just super strong. For being a warm toned color, I will say I did wear this one for several days after I swatched this collection, and it absolutely did not wash me out. So if you've got warm tones, I think this is going to look fantastic on you, and I definitely say don't shy away from it with it being so warm toned. And finally, we have the last polish in this release, as well as the final shimmer foil in this collection. This is Undertones. Official description is a bright red based purple with blue to purple shifting foil shimmer. So if you're curious how this one compared to the other violety reddish color, this one is more of a bright purpley base with a red undertone to it. I dare say almost fuchsia. So the shimmer in this one will come off dominantly like a turquoise type aqua color in bright lights, and then on extreme angles you're going to see that really vibrant violety type pinky glow come out on shift. It's just crazy. And like I said before, if you guys have been following the brand and you really liked Sea of Lies or any of those other foil shimmers, I highly recommend that these three are going to be right up your alley. I do feel like they are different enough as well that it would warrant, if you enjoyed this finish, definitely grab the three of them. This one is more of a cool toned type to the base, and like I said, my camera is just latching on to the main shift of these polishes, so it gives you that nice sparkly effect. All three of the foils do dry down a little bit on the satin side, so across the board I would recommend a good glossy top coat to really get that shimmer to just pop like crazy. So I will link you guys to the Australian shop as well as the US and international shop below, and in addition to my blog post if you wanted to see this in a written review format as well as additional swatches. These will be launching on the Australian site on Tuesday, February the 19th at 10 a.m. Australian time, and on the US and international site Monday, February the 18th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.